Their rent kept going up on them. They didn't really have any other options. And when they found us, the just joy and excitement in him and his family's eyes were just enlightening to us. My wife and I both just really looked at each other and said, hey, like, this is the real reason we want to move forward with this model, is because we can also help people as well as get the lifestyle that we were looking for.
What's up, everybody? Today we have a special guest, Dustin Hartman. Dustin's been a member of Rap Academy for almost a year. When we first started talking, Dustin was living in Argentina temporarily with his wife, and they had started to see the value in doing wraps and lease options and to how to structure these exit strategies in their investment portfolio so that it could best serve their life and allow for them to live the life they desire, which includes living overseas at times, having a passive portfolio, minimizing headaches, and so on. Dustin is currently about to close on his ninth property, and they've been awesome members of our community. They also are the creators of the Hartman method, which we can maybe talk about a little bit. They've been really incredible guests, and today I want to share with you just a little bit of their journey. Welcome, Dustin.
Thank you, Phil. Appreciate that intro.
For me, the first starting point, which I think is always the most interesting, is, what made you decide to choose this exit strategy?
Yeah, it's a great question. Quick overview of how we got here. I'm a licensed architect in Louisiana. I did a lot of different types of architecture, commercial, large projects, and decided residential was more what I wanted to get into. We purchased our first residential property. My wife and I, who is my business partner, purchased a duplex in 2019, house hacked it, and did the whole FHA loan, renovated the entire thing, and that was our first jump into residential real estate world. Once we did that, we did a little bit of everything since then: short-term rental, mid-term rental for a couple, 2.5 to 3 years. We wholesaled, and about 80% of our revenue and transactions were wholesales. We did creative cash, mostly cash, but we tried to keep some deals as well. We kept a couple sub-2 deals. We flipped a couple, and the ones that we did keep, we ended up wrapping on a bond for deed or a contract for deed. In Louisiana, it's called a bond for deed. After about 4 years of doing everything with the residential investing world, we decided to go to Argentina for 6 months. My wife and I it was our dream since we first met each other about 8 years ago that we were going to do that. So we just made it happen, got to Argentina. And when we were there, really took a look at our entire business, what we had been doing for the past 4 years, and decided to analyze our best deals and what we really enjoyed about investing in real estate. After doing that, we realized the two properties we kept as a sub-2 deal and wrapped them were our best deals for a couple different reasons. One was it got us truly passive income, that we didn't have to be a landlord, we didn't have to get phone calls about anything. The money showed up in our bank account every single month, which was amazing, which is, I think, one of the real reasons that everyone gets into investing, especially when we're living in Argentina. You realize, hey, if we want to travel like this, passive income is what we really need. So that was monetarily, that really pushed us into this model. And then secondly, we discussed the biggest emotional paychecks received in the past 4 years. And both of our wraps were the best emotional paychecks that we received as well, because we were able to sell the property to a family that had been renting in the same area for 14 years. Their rent kept going up on them. They didn't really have any other options. And when they found us, the just joy and excitement in him and his family's eyes were enlightening. My wife and I both just really looked at each other and said, hey, like, this is the real reason we want to move forward with this model, is because we can also help people as well as get the lifestyle that we were looking for. So after that analysis and talking about it for a couple of months, we decided to just transition completely, take everything we learned from the past 4 years and transition into this full-time, solely focus on this model.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. So you then decided this makes sense and it also is doing good while doing well. And then he went to double down. So at that point, you're mostly doing wholesales, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. At that point, you decided to cut off the wholesaling.
We decided to cut off the direct to seller marketing. We had tried pretty much every single type of direct to seller marketing and decided that we weren't going to do that anymore and keep spending a large amount of money every month on marketing budgets, that we would transition to a more relationship based acquisitions model, where we would go back to all of the relationships that we had built over the last 4 years with wholesalers, just other investors in the area, and following up on the many leads that we had in a CRM from direct to seller marketing. So that was our goal or our strategy moving forward. So we just cut off all the spending that we're doing for the marketing to directly to sellers.
Nice, amazing. What made you decide to join Rap Academy, and how's your experience been?
I would say that, yeah, it was pretty serendipitous that I just got in contact with you around that same time. It was pretty perfect. And I started seeing some of your posts and seeing kind of the same that yet you guys had the same sort of history in real
Yeah,
estate investing, which
very,
is
very
like that
similar
you exact.
trajectory.
And so seeing that, I was like, oh man, this is what my wife and I have been talking about. It sounds like Bill is a great person to talk to. When you and I had our conversation, I felt like we aligned on the model as far as, again, our history of investing and then the reasons why we wanted to do these things, and specifically just wanting to help people get on the path to home ownership and just have an alternate reason besides just making money, building a business that actually helps people. So all those things came together. I think it made my wife and I realize this is a good fit for us.
Awesome. Since you joined, you've done about 7 more of these types of deals.
Yes, this one we were closing in 2 weeks will be our ninth one. Yeah. Well,
Cool.
we've actually helped. Yeah. So we technically it'll be our 10th one once we wrap it, but number 10 will be one that we wrapped, but it wasn't our property, so somebody else got to keep the wrap. We just helped them do it. I'll say nine.
You and Chris have done amazing creative things from a place of service to create revenue and build new strategies. So what we call the Hartman method, or the reverse jacket, is they really work with their buyers, the families that want to gain access to home ownership. Maybe this house is not right for that family, and they're then able to take those families, connect with on market or off market properties, and play that role of planner. We have videos on this method as well. But as well as that, you've also, like that one deal, the 10th deal, you guys made a nice fee connecting an investor with the buyer. That was like 10,000 plus for as a fee, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we made a 12,000 or something like that
Mhm.
for that one. Like you said, it was a situation where I connected with a newer investor from Oregon. She was trying to learn, she bought her first sub two and didn't really understand the specifics of it. And she knew the concept, but hadn't done it yet. So she didn't understand the specifics. Finding buyers, especially when you're not in the market physically for your first one, can be challenging. I was helping her out along the way for many months. I actually was talking to her for about 8 months, just answering questions whenever she had them. And then eventually she called me and said, "Hey, I would really like to sell this. Could you help us sell it?" So we were able to find someone that we had been talking to for months and just connected, and it worked out well.
Nice.
Mhm.
Amazing. One of my biggest things for any business service, who's the
Mhm.
customer that I'm serving? If you have a starving audience, that creates a really, really good business. And so the buyers for these houses that want to buy houses and can't qualify with traditional financing, those are an amazing demographic to serve. And you guys have been a great example of like what can happen by serving those individuals. You're very buyer oriented, more than most of our community. You're building a CRM around those buyers so that you can really just nurture those relationships when people are ready to buy. You have different ways that you can serve them, whether it's, helping them find a property on market and securing financing for them, or if it's, helping them to find other investors deals or deals that you guys buy off market as well.
Yeah, definitely. After doing a couple of them and figuring out, over the past year, we transitioning from this older model of acquisitions heavy. We had to take what we learned from what we were doing in the past couple of years, which was sales and marketing, right? Wholesaling is a sales and marketing business. We figured out what can we do in this new model to do more deals faster without the holding cost of being a heavy acquisitions or acquisitions heavy style business model. So that's when we decided buyers are our biggest asset. Buyers are our leverage with everything. So if we have the buyers, the more buyers we have, the more leverage we have. And that goes with wholesale, properties that wholesalers bring to us or properties on market as well, because we can help out agents, we can help out wholesalers, because if we have the buyers ready and available, then we can jump on properties and opportunities that will help out other people, which brings new deals, new opportunities in the future, helps build those relationships.
Nice. You guys have built a lot of the foundation at this point, and now you have 9, 10 of these under your belt. What is your cash flow looking like? What is your equity looking like? What's your vision for the next year?
We're working on that right now. This has been a real transitioning and building year. We've spent the last 5 months with a development team to completely build out our CRM to work with this model, because I would say most CRMs, especially in real estate investing, are acquisitions heavy. They have the wholesale side, you have the buyer side, but it's very different than the buyers that we're going after. So it's like almost there, but it's slightly different. So we've worked with 4 different developers now, and we just could not get it. They just couldn't do they couldn't get our vision. And finally, we have one we're excited about, and they're building an app within the CRM for us. It's been a long road, but we're excited to get it finished right now in December so we can just hit the ground running in January. Our goal is next year, 2 deals per month, and keep our team as lean as possible. And that's the main goal of the CRM too, is utilizing AI to be able to follow up, send mass marketing out to our buyers, reduce the amount of time that we take, manually marketing. So that'll be a huge change next year. We're able to do one or so a month this year, but next year we'll be at 2, no problem with the CRM working properly.
The biggest thing with this model is, is consistency over time. This is why I love this versus wholesaling. Wholesaling is transactional. It's like, if we do a transaction, make 5,000 bucks, 10,000 bucks. We spend that on marketing, overhead, we spend that on salary. But every deal we do like this, we're building our monthly cash flow. So now 10 deals, 5,000 bucks a month in cash flow. Next year, you can double that and get 10,000 more in cash flow. Now you're at $15,000 per month coming in no matter what. And that's the whole goal, right? Is to escape the rat
Oh
race,
yeah.
have that passive cash flow coming in to be more than what you spend on a monthly basis.
Yes, exactly. 100%. We just closed one last week. That's a perfect example because it was a property we could have wholesaled, but we wrapped it and we ended up getting a $40,000 down payment, which made us whole from renovations and holding costs. We basically got back plus a couple $1,000. Now we're making, I think, $820 a month off of that one. And so comparing that to a wholesale deal, we would have had, like you said, marketing budgets, just other expenses that are much, much higher. That $40,000 assignment fee, that's a pretty high fee. When we were wholesaling was about $12,500 a month. That was our average assignment fee. So a $40,000 assignment fee would have been crazy. We got one, I think, at 50 at one time, but it wasn't normal. So to get $40,000 profit, zero money in the deal, and make $800 a month with no headaches, no phone calls, it's fantastic. And yeah, our projected revenue, the buyer holds it for at least 7 years before he pays us out, we'll have made around $146,000 of revenue on that one. So a lot
Crazy.
different than wholesale.
You can 10x your wholesale deals and keep the cash flow. Is amazing.
Exactly.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'm excited. Like, I think you're a great example of the power of the mastermind within our community. Also, with people such as yourself who are learning these things and bringing what they learn back, and it's just been awesome having you since the beginning. Also, how has Rap Academy benefited your journey, and what do you feel like is the area where it's helped the most?
I'll say originally it was seeing that you guys had done this already, that had made this transition, that this was your sole focus for your business right around the time that my wife, Kristen, and I were making the transition or discussing it. And to be able to connect with you guys and have that confidence that, hey, Bill and his team did it. There is someone else that has done this. It gave us that little bit a push, I guess, a little bit nudge of confidence that, hey, we can make this transition and make it work and not have to continue this rat race that we've been on with the wholesaling. Initially, that was the biggest thing that you did for us. And we're super grateful for that because we had been talking about this for probably 2 years, but just kind of didn't believe it, or not that didn't believe it, but we had the marketing budget, you had all those things. It's like the business takes a mind of its own, it has a mind of its own, and takes over. And so we kind of never really pursued it enough. It was fantastic that we met you guys to be able to see, hey, they did it. We can join the group, ask questions, run things by them, just have a place that we can go that you guys are doing the exact same thing that we were doing. That was the biggest thing for us at the time. Over the past year or so that we've been in the group, just to be able to meet new people, get in here and just ask questions. It's just always good to have other people that are doing investing in general, but also this exact same model so we can ask specific questions about it. With our lifestyle, traveling to Argentina, North Carolina, we don't have a physical group that we can meet up with and just get that camaraderie and talk about business and these types of deals and these types of just real estate investing. None of my family friends I grew up with are in real estate investing. It can feel like my wife and I are on an island and not really have anyone to talk to, especially with this model. Being in this mastermind gave us camaraderie, friends, people doing the same thing that we could talk to and not feel like we were on this island all by ourselves.
The strange seller financing island. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It was cool when we met. Our backgrounds are very similar. You're right where we were a few years prior. When we cut off our wholesaling arm and went all into this exit strategy, we actually didn't know anyone else who had done it. we knew people who were doing it. We didn't know anyone who created an actual scalable model was actually scaling the model how we want to do it. Yeah, that's awesome. Cool, man. What would you say to anyone on the fence about joining? Is anyone who's like, I think this is maybe, whether hitting a space of fear or they're on the fence and thinking about, should I take the dive?
To me, obviously everyone's situation is different, but I think determining what you want to do, determining why it is you're starting your business, why it is you're doing the things that you're doing, and really determining what that goal is. And if that goal is true financial freedom, true passive income, then this is a great model for you. And you can spend money, and you should spend money on education. We've spent tons of money on education in the last 4 years, and it's given us huge benefits when it comes to just being a business owner, mindset, all these different things. However, it wasn't getting us to the lifestyle we ultimately wanted. And this model does. My point is, if this is a lifestyle that you want and this is the model that gives it to you, there's nothing that should be stopping you because you're going to make the money back very quickly. To have someone doing it with you that's doing the same exact thing, the speed that you would get there will be exponentially faster than trying to do it on your own. Over the last 4 years, we did two of these. And then once we joined you guys, got the confidence and shifted over everything and just focused on this, we did 7 more. So yeah, focus is everything. If you can get in here and focus, it's worth it.
Now you build the foundations. I can do double that next year. We're big on playing in decades. We
Yeah.
build the skill sets, we build the foundation, and keep going.
We could have spent more time doing more deals this year, but focusing on the long-term lifestyle and business we're wanting and getting that foundation set up was more important than doing more deals this year, so that the next couple of years are more efficient and just easier, if that makes sense.
Awesome. I'm excited to see the continued growth. Dustin buys in Louisiana and New Orleans. If you have deals in New Orleans, reach out to him. I think you're opening a second market as well, potentially. So yeah, where can people find you? How can they get connected with?
We buy all around Southern Louisiana, so anything around there, just send me an email, Dustin@purplehomesolutions.com. I also have a Facebook, Dustin Hartman, on Facebook, and Instagram as well. Follow your Hartman. Hartman is my last name. Yeah, all those places. Or just hit me up. My number is 504-290-0660. I'd be happy to help anyone, even if it's just walk through a creative financing deal if you've never done one. I like being creative and figuring out ways to help sellers. So I'd be happy to help.
Nice. Awesome. Definitely take Dustin up on that. He's helped tons of people, or a handful of people in Louisiana, do their wraps and bring buyers for it. Reach out to him, bring deals, get connected. For anyone else looking to connect, all of our information is in the description below. So Dustin, thank you for coming out and being a founding member of our community. It's great to have you. I'm excited to see how 2026 and next year is going to absolutely crush it for you guys.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.